Hello students, let us start from question number 22 of exercise 9.3. In this, pth term is given to you, pth term is p and qth term of gp is b and rth term is c. We already know the formula a r raised to power n minus 1. It means in this a r raised to power p minus 1 is equal to a r raised to power q minus 1 is equal to b, a r raised to power r minus 1 is equal to c. Suppose these are the three equations. Basically, these terms are given to you and you have to prove a raised to power q minus r, b raised to power r minus p and c raised to power p minus q is equal to 1. Now what to do? Basically insert these values a, b and c from 1, 2 and 3 in this equation on the left hand side. Okay, a raised to power q minus r, b raised to power r minus p and c raised to power p minus q. Insert the first value, it's a r raised to power p minus 1 and power q minus r. Similarly second term and third term. Now collect the powers of a, q minus r, r minus p and p minus q. The term become 0. And what about the power of capital R? It's qp minus q minus rp plus r. This term. Similarly second and third term. When you cancel these terms, both the terms become 0. It means the answer is a raised to power 0 and r raised to power 0. It's 1 multiplied by 1. Answer is 1. It's nothing but the right hand side. Question number 23. A1 is given to you, that is first term, it's A, and nth term is B. And n arithmetic means, product of n arithmetic means is A1, A2 up to so on An. And we have to prove P square is equal to AB raised to power n. First term is given to you, last term is given to you, and product of n arithmetic, n geometric means, product of n geometric means is given to you, that is P, and we have to prove P square is equal to AB raised to power n. First term is given to you, T1 is equal to A and nth term is B. If nth term is B, it means I can write A r raised to power n minus 1 is equal to B and r raised to power n minus 1 is equal to B over A. Now what about product of the terms? It's A, AR, AR square up to so on AR raised to power n minus 1. It means A raised to power n can be separate out and powers can be added. Now what about the formula 1 to 3 up to so on n? It's n into n plus 1 over 2. Apply this formula in this equation. Then insert the value of r. And what about the value of r? Value of r is b over a raised to power 1 over n minus 1. b over a 1 over n minus 1. n minus 1 cancel with each other. It means it's b over a raised to power n over 2. Again, a raised to power n over 2 is here, a raised to power n is here. By cancelling, we obtain a raised to power n over 2 and b raised to power n over 2. By squaring, we find p square is equal to a raised to power n and b raised to power n. In the statement, these are not geometric means, these are the product of n terms. It's the product of n terms. Now question number 24. Show that the ratio of sum of first n terms of a GP to the sum of terms from n plus 1 to 2nth term is 1 over r raised to power n. Now what is the meaning of statement? Basically the ratio of Sn and S2n minus Sn, we have to prove this. Sn is the sum of n terms and S2n minus n, it is the difference between sum of 2n terms minus the sum of n terms. Dividing numerator and denominator by Sn, we can find 1 over S2n minus Sn minus 1. S2n divided by Sn minus 1. Let it be number 1. Now in this term, basically we have to find out S2n divided by Sn and insert the value in number 1, then you can get the value. Now what about Sn? The formula for Sn is a r raised to power n minus 1 divided by r minus 1. Similar is for 2n. R minus 1 cancel with each other and also a. Now the resulting sequence is r raised to power 2n minus 1 divided by r raised to power n minus 1. Then subtract 1 from both sides. Then take LCM, and in the numerator you can take r raised to power n common, and inside bracket it's r raised to power n minus 1, and answer is r raised to power n. Now insert this value in number 1, you will find the answer Sn divided by S2n minus Sn is equal to 1 over r raised to power n. It's the required answer. This one is the required answer. Now what about question number 25? A, B, C, D are in GP and show that a square plus b square plus c square into b square plus c square plus d square is equal to ab plus bc plus cd whole square. Now you can proceed this question by opening this product bracket and square bracket and then cancel some of the terms, whatever is cancelled, and you can find out the answer by inserting these sequences. If A, B, C, D are in GP, then you can write B over A is equal to C over B is equal to D over C. Suppose I equate first and second equation, then I can find B square is equal to AC. And what about second and third? I can write C square is equal to BD. And what about first and third? I can write BC is equal to AD. These equations can be used while I solve this statement. Now start with the left hand side. You can write a square plus b square plus c square, b square plus c square plus d square, then multiply a square by all the terms, then b square, then c square. Then open the bracket. Just by simple multiplication you can open the bracket. Up to this point it's okay. Up to this point. Now these terms a square b square, b square c square and c square d square. Collect these terms in first step. Now why I collect these terms? Because on the right hand side square is there. First term square, second term and third term. Basically I collect these three values in first step. And what about second term? A square c square and b raised to power 4. These two terms. I collect these two terms. Now why I collect these two terms? Because basically these two terms are equal. B square is equal to AC. If I write here B square is equal to AC or AC is equal to B square, basically these terms are same. And what about next? B square, D square and C raised to power 4. Again these two terms are same. C square can be written as BD. It means these two terms are same terms. It means I collect these terms. And what about rest? A square, D square and C square, D square. Now, okay, A square, D square and B square, C square. These two terms. Without indication or without underlined bracket, basically these two terms are also same. Let us check. BC is equal to AD. It means these two terms are also same. Now what next? It can be written as AB square, BC square and CD square. And what about these? A square, C square plus in place of B square you can write AC. It means B raised to power 4 is A square C square. And what about C raised to power 4? C square can be written as BD. It means this term is B square D square. What about BC? BC can be written as AD. It means it's A square D square. Now twice of this term, twice of this term, and twice of this term is there. Now it can be written as 2AC into AC, 2BD into BD, 2AD into AD. And 2AC into B square, 2BD into C square, 2AD into BC. What about this? AB into BC. We can write this BC into CD and CD into AB. Now it's A square, B square, C square plus 2AB plus 2BC plus 2CA. It's basically the formula of A plus B plus C whole square. It means the term is equivalent to right hand side. In this question, you have to take the serious steps by collecting the similar terms. Question number 26 is simple. You have to insert basically two geometric means between 3 and 21. First term is 3 and fourth term is 81. In place of fourth term, we can write AR raised to power 3 is equal to 81. It means 3R cube is equal to 81 and R cube is equal to 27. By taking cube root, you can write R is equal to 3. Now what about G1? G1 can be written as AR because it is second term. 3 into 3 it's 9. Similarly, AR square it's 3 into 9, 27. This type of question was also there in arithmetic progression and also in geometric progression. Find the value of n so that this term is geometric mean between A and B. Now what about geometric mean? It can be written as AB square root. And what about AB square root? It's A raised to power 1 over 2 and B raised to power 1 over 2. Now multiply this term AN plus BN on right hand side. It's A raised to power n plus 1 over 2 into B raised to power 1 over 2. Then B raised to power n plus 1 over 2. These terms and A raised to power 1 over 2. Now shift this term on the left hand side and this term B raised to power n plus 1 on the right hand side. Then taking A raised to power n plus 1 over 2 common, this term is there similarly on the right hand side, and inside bracketed term it can be cancelled with each other. A raised to power n plus 1 over 2 and B raised to power n plus 1 over 2 become equal. It means you can write A over B power n plus 1 over 2 is equal to 1 and 1 can be written as A plus A over B power 0 because anything raised to power 0 is equal to 1. Now n plus 1 over 2 is equal to 0 and n can be written as minus 1 over 2. Simply you have to cross multiply the terms, nothing else, and after then solve. This question is also the important question as far as your examination is concerned. Sum of two numbers is 6 times their geometric mean. It means A plus B can be written as 6 into AB root. And you have to find the ratio of the terms 3 plus 2 into root 2 and 3 minus 2 into root 2. It's given to you. Basically, you have to prove this value. If I write A plus B is equal to 6 into AB root, please write A plus B divided by 2 into root AB is equal to 3 over 1. Now apply componendo and dividendo. What is the meaning of componendo and dividendo? If I write A over B, then componendo means A plus B in the numerator and dividendo means A minus B in the denominator. It becomes A plus B plus 2 into root AB, A plus B minus 2 into root AB, and on the right hand side it's 3 plus 1 divided by 3 minus 1. Clearly on the numerator square root A plus square root B whole square, and in the denominator it's a square root A minus square root B whole square. And on the right hand side it's 4 over 2. It means we can write 2 over 1. Then take square root. You can write square root A plus square root B divided by square root A minus square root B divided by square root 2 plus 1. Then again apply componendo and dividendo. In the numerator you can add, in the denominator you can subtract. Clearly you obtain 2 into square root A divided by 2 into square root B. On the right hand side square root 2 plus 1 over square root 2 minus 1. Then again scale the terms. It's a over b, 2 plus 1 plus 2 into square root 2, 2 plus 1 minus 2 into square root 2. It's 3 plus 2 into square root 2 divided by 3 minus 2 into square root 2. This question is an important one. Kindly repeat the question at least once. Question number 29, it's again the important question. A is arithmetic mean and G is geometric mean, and you have to prove that the numbers are A plus minus square root A plus B, A plus G into A minus G. Now what about A? It's A plus B over 2. It means A plus B can be written as 2A. And what about G? It's a square root AB because it's a geometric mean. It means we can write G square is equal to AB. Now one algebraic formula you have already completed in 7th or 8th class. A minus B square can be written as A plus B square minus 4AB. Insert the value of A plus B and AB. You obtain 4A square because A plus B is equal to 2A and AB is equal to G square. This one. It's 4 into A square minus G square. Then take square root. You can factorize. A square minus B square is equal to A plus B into A minus B. A plus B is already known to you. Add the terms. You can cancel B. It means 2A plus 2A plus G into A minus G. Dividing by 2, you can obtain the value of A. Then after inserting this value of A in this equation, you can obtain the value of B. B can be written as 2A minus A. Insert the value of small a, and you can easily find out the value of small b. It means the two values are, one is with positive sign and second is with negative sign. Question number 30 is again the simplest question basically. The statement is long, but the question is simple. The number of bacteria in a certain culture doubles every hour. In each hour it doubles by itself. It means after 1 hour the value is 60, and in second hour, after second hour the value is 120, and in third hour it's 240, again double, and then in fourth hour it's 480, and in nth hour it's 30 into 2 raised to power n. It is the answer. Basically you have to find out in second hour it is 120, and in fourth hour it's 480, and in nth hour 30 into 2 raised to power n. Each time it's multiplied by 2. Question number 13 is a simple question of compound interest basically. In case of compound interest, when we are using the formula for amount, the answer for amount is principal 1 plus rate over 100 power 10. Apply this formula. Principal is given to you 500. Then time period is also given to you, that is 10, and rate of interest is also 10. It's a 0.1 power 10. It's 1.1 raised to power 10. Means the answer is 500 into 1.1 raised to power 10. Question number 32. It is the last question of this exercise. If arithmetic mean and geometric mean of the roots of the quadratic equation are 8 and 5. Suppose the roots are a and b. It means arithmetic mean is a plus b divided by 2. That is 8. It means a plus b is equal to 16. Similarly, geometric mean is ab root. This value is 5. It means ab is 25. You have to develop the quadratic equation. We already completed in class 10th that if sum and product is given to you of roots of the equation, then the quadratic equation is x square minus sx plus p is equal to 0. Simply insert the value of s and p. You can find out the equation. It's x square minus 16x plus 25 is equal to 0. Thanks for watching my video. In the next video, I will discuss about exercise 9.4 of this chapter.